What up, y'all? It's your homeboy Justin, all in my greasy glory. And it's Thursday, so it's another just vlog about me talking about something. Actually, this vlog is also a Q&A because someone asked me a question and I'm answering it. It's kind of how these work. Oh, Lord, my nose. Okay, so, forgive me, y'all. I'm sorry. So, question was asked to me by, actually through Instagram. I forget the name of the user, but I'll post the question. I'll insert it, screen cap it on this video as I'm spitting into the camera. But they were wanting to know, basically, how do I reconcile my sexuality with my religion? What's my take on it? What's kind of my story with it, since they were saying that like I'm in the church or I was in the church. I'm currently still working at a church as of today. But they're just wanting to know, how do I feel about it? How does like the whole like religion in LGBTQ plus community, how does that come together? How does that align in my life, basically? And so, I guess in today's vlog, I'm going to talk about that and just kind of give you guys my point of view since someone asked. So you can't say that no one asked because someone did. So I'm also contemplating whether or not to put comments or to allow comments on this video, because I do know that sometimes people get a little bit, we gonna put some adjectives some kind of way when these videos come up, but I don't think that it would be that controversial. I mean, I guess it technically is, but I guess because of the way that I feel about it, for me, it's not controversial. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They'll probably still be up, but I thought about it. I'm just letting you know I thought about it. Okay, so first off, the way that I feel about it and reconciling that with my religion, I think one of the things so there's like, this is going to be very tangential, this video, and there's not really going to be much of a structure. I'm just free talking, okay? This is free form, okay? So, one of the things, let me get comfortable over here. One of the things that I feel me as first I would say as, I don't know how to come about this. I don't want to talk about this. So, like, for me as a black man, there's already a level of stereotype, there's already a level of pressure, and there's already a level of expectation or lack of expectation on me because of that, right? How I should be, how I should contribute to society, how I should talk, how I should dress, or and when I'm saying this is how people are expecting me to, dress, talk, whatever it may be. So there is that. So there's already that programming that I would say, or myself as a black person, am trying to unlearn and deconstruct in terms of making people comfortable around my blackness and how I choose to express that on a day-to-day basis. Whether that be how I talk, or how I dress, or how I wear my locks, or how I do my hair just in general, or what I eat, or I don't know, other things like that. There is not an ant on my bed. Justin, you need to clean up your stuff, because y'all, I have a problem. I need to spray. Okay, there's ants. Anyway, back to the conversation. So there's that whole situation, right? And make sure it's still recording, because sometimes I don't trust the technology. So there's that level of experience that I'm trying to go through right now, right? Now, if we also add sexuality on top of that, me being a person who's homosexual, i.e. gay, for those who don't know, there's another level of expectation that people think that either I would have, that either I defy, or that I lead into, or that people recognize that either exists or doesn't exist. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. But there's that other level too. People think that I'll either act a certain way, or talk a certain way, or dress a certain way, or will have certain feelings towards things just because I identify as a part of the LGBTQ plus community, right? So there's that. So there's also a deconstruction of that, of things that I thought I had to be because I was gay, or things that people told me I had to be, or things within the specific community here in Wichita that I felt like I needed to subscribe to, or I thought I needed to subscribe to, or already knew I did not subscribe to from the get-go, that I had to either learn or unlearn. Okay, so there's that part. Now, if we add the religion aspect onto it, that's another level of, I would say, expectation, judgment, if you will, that is laid on top of this cake that I really do not understand is something that people care so much about. And I'm going to say that and I say that because everyone, from the most part that I've encountered, who I've tried to talk about this from a religious standpoint, always says that it's a sin. And I'm like, okay, I get that. Sure, whatever, okay? Now, all the other different types of things, clothing of more than one material, eating pork, letting your wife speak in church, letting your wife work, a divorced wife remarrying her another person, sex before marriage. What other types of things? Just different types of sins. No one gives two iotas about them things. Now, there are many things that are said about those different types of things. Coveting another person's materials, coveting another man's wife. Also, just peep the patriarchy within the writings of the Bible, because they're all written after men. Only men have written them, and all of the commandments are favoring men, because it never says that a wife cannot covet a man's or another wife's husband. It just says that a man should not cover his wife. So I'm just, and correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. So there's that one aspect. For me, a second aspect on a religion standpoint, like on the real, is that people always say, well, God doesn't make mistakes and Jesus don't make mistakes. And he made you as you are. He made you perfect as you are. So in the same breath that you're going to say that we are all made in God's image and we are all perfect, we have our own shit to work on, obviously. But I would say fundamentally, if we are all perfect and God made us the way he wants us to be, then why would he damn me to this life of struggle, quote unquote, to where I have to repent for a sin that I did not choose to make and was just a part of my nature? Why would he do that, huh? Why would he do that to the 2% of the population of the world? Why would he do that? That doesn't seem like something a loving God would do. Really? To banish me to this kind of life of just struggle for real? Which kind of brings me, I'm going to jump quickly to the church part. When I not came out to my pastor, but when I said that I had, I felt like when I said that I was a part of the LGBTQ community, I didn't say exactly what aspect of it. I just said that. He said, well, do you find it's a struggle, the urges that you have or whatever? And I said, no, I don't have any struggle with that part. I struggle with living in a society that constantly tells me that what I'm feeling is wrong or how I am as a person is wrong. And he felt however he wanted to feel about it, but I ain't back down from what I said. I got to check again. I don't know why I keep thinking. So it's interesting. I mean, and then what's also funny is that my pastor at the church that I go to currently right now, he did a homily. He was talking, after the gospel. If you're Catholic, you know what I'm talking about. Man, y'all, my phone stopped on me. Okay, so yeah, during the gospel, I'm gonna have to say all this shit again, damn it. So during the gospel, he was talking about, being your authentic self is being, how God made you. And so it's like, if God made you this way, then your way of honoring God and respecting his creation is to be who he made you to be. So it's like, on one hand, y'all telling me to not be gay. On the other hand, y'all telling me, gay it up, live it up. So it's just confusing, and then the whole interpretation part, it's like, people can read the same passage and interpret it a multitude of ways. It's like a picture's worth 1,000 words. You got all them words in them different in the Bible and all them different books of Jacob and John and David and it's Corinthians and Colossians, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of different people, and it's a lot of and this was a translation from Latin and Greek and all that. So who to say which is right? Plus it's all, written for men, so there's the whole patriarchy part. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really kind of just mad that like my phone, like my camera cut out. What else did I say? Okay. Well, also in the spirit of this, I just really don't understand. I don't know. I feel like I just try to live my life as a good person, and I feel like my sexuality is kind of, I would say, for the most part, irrelevant to that situation. I don't know. I don't think like it's like how people can be racist. Um, I find it hard to believe that you can literally take just one characteristic about a person and then immediately write them off because of it. You know, you have darker skin. I ain't listening to you. You don't know nothing. Or person has a mental or physical disability. It's like, oh well, I'm not listening to them. Or or the person's blind. Or a person that believes in different religion, like they're Buddhist. You're like, I don't listen. Or they're Muslim. Like, I just don't understand how people can take that one thing and blow it up as big as it is, because it's really not. Like, it's one small facet of a person's entire character. But that's the one thing that people like to harp on. And mostly I could see how people, twist religion and whatever it is to to say, it's so bad and all this stuff. But I honestly cannot I in my heart cannot believe that God made me this way to struggle with it for the rest of my life. Like, why would he do that? Seriously, I'm asking this question. Why would he put someone on this earth with a different set of ideals that don't harm anyone else, mind you, that do not harm anyone else. When I'm talking about ideals such as racism or bigotry or Islamophobia, religious hatred or ableism, we're talking about a person who just happens to have a private life that is different from another person's private life in terms of who they have sex with. But it's just so interesting we focus on that one thing. But I don't see why he would make me, quote unquote, struggle with that, for the rest of my life. Like, why would that? Why? Your cross is that you have a weight, then you could change your weight. I can't change the fact that, like, when people say you made a choice, I'm like, I didn't really make a choice. I really, honest to God, cannot think of a moment in my life where I just made a choice. Like, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna be gay now. I'm just tired of the straight thing. And you know what's, okay, this is the thing too. Growing up, when I grew up, there wasn't, it was, for me, I never even knew what gay was until I had to figure out the words to articulate what I was feeling. It was like when you're in, I would say, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and you're starting to develop, you're starting to get into puberty, you're trying to develop sexual feelings towards the other sex. At least that's what you are supposed to feel. When all the guys in your class are talking about how they think this girl is cute, or they, are talking about this, or, some people be experimenting that early in age. Yes, they do. Some people find porn, and the internet was just blowing up then, so that happened too. When you're not having those same feeling or urges, you think something's wrong with me and something's not right because everyone is on this path and I'm not. And I keep getting older, nothing's happening. So because it was never explained to me or no one told me that there was another way, or there are other forms of sexuality that maybe this is something you identify with more, or that's more natural to you than being, heterosexual. I think, which also goes back to the conversation that people have had about public school sex education, that there needs to be more verbiage and more sex education for LGBTQ plus communities, because kids are going to have to keep figuring out that, oh, I'm not normal. What is it? I don't know. And then like 2 years later, oh, you're gay. I'm like, oh, is that a thing? And then you have to, and then the way that people talk about it so much in this country, well, in the world at large, is that it's such a bad thing that it's like, well, you don't want to be that. It's like, well, I can't be straight because it doesn't feel right to me, but I can't be gay because it feels bad. You know, people tell me it's bad. So it's like, what do you do? What are you supposed to do? So, you know, it just all comes like, craziness is really what it all comes down to. Like, honestly, it's just crazy. I think in my head, I don't know. In terms of my church, people aren't very vocal about it. They aren't very like, we don't like this, but people are very hush hush about it. Like the don't ask, don't tell, which for me is just as damaging, if not just outright saying we don't support it here. Which I would much rather do. You know, I can do much more with the truth than a lie. Like with racist people. Okay, cool. I know how you feel about me. That's perfect. The covert racist people, the people with the microaggressions, the people with the you know, the smiling, grinning, you know, through their teeth, talking through their teeth about you. I can't deal with that because it's fake. And that's just how I feel about it, which is also kind of why I don't really care for my church, but that's just a whole different thing. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. I would say reconciling it for me, I try to live my life as best as I can. I do try to live it as Christ-like as I can, try to help out my neighbors, both literally but also figuratively. You know, whoever needs help. If I see someone who needs help, I try to help. I try to be a nice person. I try to respect everyone, even when they be acting crazy, don't respect me. I'm definitely a don't start none, won't be none, you know, kind of person. And just love, you know. Jesus, God, if they say God is love, then love, you know. So I don't understand how two people who fall in love who happen to have the same gender is a bad thing. I really don't. It's love. You're mad at love of all things, really? Okay, you know, do you, boo, boo. But yeah, in terms of feelings with my church, I would say I don't really care one way or the other. You know, there's a TED talk about how to give zero fucks. Go watch that because it's pretty good. I'll link that in the description box. And also another movie that y'all should check out, a movie that I just watched today actually, because I was said, let me watch this just to see what it talks about. And this movie called Blackbird, it's got Monique in it and also Isaiah Washington. It's a very good story about a kid who's going through that whole process of figuring out his sexuality. And his friends help him out. He's in a play. And it just goes through the whole coming of age story about what that feels like, especially in a household that's very religious, and it's a Catholic household. So there's that element to it too. It's a very good movie. It's very raw, authentic, but that's kind of the good part. Yeah, it is rated R, so you know, for those who got kids or whatever, I would screen it before you show them. But you know, watch it if you wanna. But yeah, just check those things out. Check out the TED Talk. Check out that movie Blackbird, and that's all I can really give you guys. I hope that answers your question. I know I keep saying that, but that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys like this video. If you want to give it a thumbs up, you can do that. You can hit me up on any other type of social media. You know, Snapchat, Instagram, Instagrizzy. Hit me up there. And subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And if you have subscribed, but you ain't hit that, you know, that little bell notification icon next to it, what you doing, man? What you doing, fool? Hit the button. Click it, please. I'm just saying. You can do that. And yeah, that's about it. That's all for this week, all right? So click on last week's video up there. Playlist right there. Click on that subscribe button too if you want to do that. And I will see y'all on Monday. Hopefully. I don't know. My schedule's getting very busy, so we'll see what happens, all right? Peace and keep it locked.